So Lara Trump auctioned off a puppy that she claims was rescued from a dirty bathtub in Puerto Rico. Folks, I'm not making that up. That was a real headline. But I got a funny story. Last night I went to bed. I crashed hard, slept really good. Woke up this morning, I'm laying there going, man, I got to get up and get this day started, you know. I look over at my phone. I got a message from the Midas Touch Network. It says, hey, check out this story. And I read that headline, and I'm laying there in my fog trying to get awake. And I'm like, there's no way that's real. And I just kind of lay my phone back down, and I lay there for a minute. And then I wake up a second later going, did that really happen, or did I dream that? And I pick up my phone, and sure enough, folks, this is a real headline. This really happened. Check out this clip.
8,000 now, 9,000 dear, your turn again. $9,000, 9,000, yes, and now 10. $10,000, $10,000. This is for choice, ladies and gentlemen. 10,000. Yes, highest bid. This is a group that rescued truffles down in Puerto Rico, right here. Come on over here, dear.
Took truffles out of the hornet house in Puerto Rico from a disgusting bathtub. From a disgusting bathtub to a fun and a wonderful home.
Lara Trump's going to hand them off. Come on over here, dear, so we can get some pictures. We'll do this one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Someone get 5,000 for the remaining choice of one of the dogs we have up here right now. I don't know, how we getting an additional one? Smiling.
So yeah, folks, that's the real world. That's not a dream. I wish I could tell you that it was. I wish I could tap you on the shoulder and tell you that this entire Trump nightmare was just one big bad dream. But this is the real world that we're living in. I think it's so low that they've reached the point of auctioning off puppies. I mean, that's where they're at. You know, okay, they've sold some fake trading cards and pieces of his suit and all of his bullshit merchandise, but now they're out here claiming to be rescuing puppies. You know, Lara Trump is over the Big Dog Ranch rescue, and that is now who Donald Trump wants to nominate to be the RNC chair. And, of course, they'll say this was for a good cause, but the Huffington Post reported that she spent nearly $2 million of that charity's money at Trump's properties, and Trump does profit off of that. So is it really a good cause? When have we ever saw Donald Trump do humanitarian work anyway? When have we ever saw Donald Trump roll up his sleeves and actually go to work or actually help anyone besides the time he threw some paper towels at the hurricane victims? Hell, Donald Trump didn't even have a dog when he was in office. He's the first president in years that didn't have a dog. So I can't really see that Donald Trump would care one way or the other about this. Everything's got to be about him. I heard that he did speak at the event. I didn't hear what he had to say about it, but yeah, this is the point we're at. They're out there auctioning off puppies now. And that's who he wants to be in control of the RNC. Again, wonder why. If Donald Trump can secure everything, and this is the thing, folks. If he gets the RNC in his back pocket, if he surrounds himself by people who will enable him to do whatever he wants, then Donald Trump's got it made. That's what he's going for, and that's what he's shooting for. Lara Trump has no experience at what she's doing. She has no experience as the RNC chair. She has no experience in any of those business dealings. She's going to be a puppet for him. And, you know, growing up, one of the main arguments that I would hear, because I had Republicans on one side of the family and I had Democrats on the other side of the family, and I would hear uncles argue back and forth. And I used to hear this argument all the time about how, well, the Kennedy kids aren't qualified. Man, they were just born into royalty. They were just born into royalty. And now the same people that have sat and made those arguments about the Kennedys are like, yeah, Lara Trump, she'd make a good one, buddy. Yeah, they need to get her in there. She'd help straighten it out. And going back to the whole puppy thing, a dirty bathtub in Puerto Rico, really? They couldn't have done no better than that. They couldn't have come up with a better pitch than that. But that was all put there. That's all just so Trump designed, a dirty bathtub in Puerto Rico. Of course, that's where they would rescue the dog from. And as I'm sitting there looking at that room, the one thing that I just could not get away from was thinking about people in my part of the world. And I want to say that there are a whole lot of really good-hearted people in my part of the world, and they work very hard. But a lot of them are just gullible, and they vote against their own interest. And I promise you, folks, when I drive down these back roads here in Appalachia, I will never get anywhere close to a room like that those people were setting in and auctioning off those puppies. And people around here and people like me would never be allowed through that front door. And it's just so mind-numbing to me that people in my part of the world who struggles so hard to make it can look over at people like this and think that those people have their best interest at heart or a puppy's best interest at heart. You know, it's just sad that these con men and women have grifted poor, gullible people into voting against their own interest, and now they're out there exploiting puppies. You know, it's truly sickening. It really is. And I wished it was a dream. I wish that that none of this was real. Maybe one day we'll wake up and the fog will start to lift and we'll all start to try to make sense out of what was this MAGA disease that just infected so many people. It feels like we're on The Walking Dead, you know. And that's really how it felt a lot back when Trump was first really getting rolling with his campaign back in 2016. He's really getting moving with it and everything. And I saw more and more people buying into it. I was seeing people buy into it that either I was going, you're way too smart for this. There's no way you could believe this. But they got bit by it and they started believing it. Then there's people over here, I'm going, man, you're struggling really hard. Do you really think this billionaire gives a damn about you? Or do you ever think he's ever walked a mile in your shoes? And that person got bit too. So yeah, it just feels like we've been on one big, long Walking Dead episode. And I stopped watching that story. I stopped watching that series a long time ago because it just lost the plot. So I hope we don't lose the plot. I hope we pull it back together. And I hope we wake up from this fog.